literally being gaslit. Governments are telling you that fuel is in short supply and you should panic. Meanwhile, there's an unmistakably clear message from my channel that countries have stockpiles and the chaos, it's working exactly as intended because it's creating uncertainty. If that makes you a little angry, good, because that anger is your wake-up call. Hi, I'm Yasmin, and here is your channeled message for what's going on in the world right now. This is not to scare you, but to give you the tools to stay steady when the world feels uncertain and scary. In the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you what's really happening behind the headlines and what's coming next, and exactly what you can do right now to stay grounded, even when everything outside feels like it's out of control. Welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time here. And I just want to affirm that this isn't fear-mongering, it's practical spiritual intelligence on how to prepare your mind, body, and your community so you don't freeze when tough times land. Take what resonates, leave the rest. And this message is for those who can act to reclaim sovereignty over their lives. The world is getting louder on purpose, and there are two forces in motion right now: the agenda of the powers that be and the awakened ones. The newer split we've been hearing about is still happening, and it's intensifying. So expect things to get worse before they get better. But there's a blessing in that. If you lean into your truth, your perceptions will allow you to move through events with less attachment and more action. Right now, you're watching a reset and a distraction all at the same time. Systems are being reshaped while people are kept in fight or flight. And the goal of those creating fear is simple. It's to keep you dysregulated so you can be controlled. And if something feels off, and it's the same feeling that we had in 2020, it's off. And my channel showed me a few clear things you need to know right now. Fossil fuel shortages are being staged to create uncertainty. There are more supply and stockpiles than the headlines care to admit. The UK, for example, gets most of its oil from sources not impacted by Iran, yet the shortage stories push panic and compliance. The ceasefire with Iran, it's temporary. It feels like the conflict isn't finished and more may come, and it could wear a different face or persona. I'm hearing a sort of lockdown will happen to do with the climate or climate change, and that will reduce travel and access to certain aspects of our lives. However, there will always be ways to travel and get access if you're willing to open your mind to different illogical alternatives. Another headline that the channel gave me was cyber attacks, and blackouts will happen. This is where analog skills and local community networks will really benefit you. So start building those now, because isolating when the noise is loud isn't going to save you. And this guidance is spiritual and practical. So here's what you can do right now. Ground your nervous system and build daily routines that create predictability with sleep, movement, well-being practices, and time offline. That's super important. Build predictable pockets in your life with food, cash, basic medical supplies, and a simple way to cook without power. Keep cash on hand if blackouts happen, because digital access to money is going to fail. And learn analog skills. Basic first aid, food preservation, how to cook on a camping stove, simple mechanical fixes, and strengthen your community ties. Go offline and talk to the neighbours. Create local support circles where skills and resources are shared. There's a plan to roll out universal basic income according to the agenda, and my channel has confirmed this. It's coming in to change the structure of work and to increase the control that your governments have around you. It means the way you work for money will absolutely change. And is there a good type of job to have at this time? My channel said no. because the job landscape is going to shift as AI takes over many jobs over the years, not months. So, resilience is about diversification of skills, community contribution, and the kind of work that technology can't fully replace, such as care, local food systems, craftsmanship, and relational roles. Also, just a note, consciousness alone won't bypass the physical realities that we experience. We live in a physical body that responds to chemicals in food, products, and the environment. So clean your immediate environment where you can with food choices and safer personal products, because a healthier body responds better under stress. This is also an incredible time. If you can see beyond the media noise, your path will be easier than someone who's deeply bound to mainstream media and the system. It might feel illogical, but small, local, analog choices creating big safety is what's going to work. If you're already building an off-grid community, upskilling, and building strong local networks, you're already living that lighter path. And this is an invitation for you to bring a little bit of that into your world so you can be more prepared. Right now, you don't need to panic. You need a plan and a steady nervous system and a community. So start small, one predictable routine, one analog skill, one neighbor connection. And back in 2020 and over the years, I've repeated this message, not because it was going to happen imminently, but to get you into preparedness with whatever you have today. This is how you'll get through what your governments are projecting on you. And from a spiritual perspective, when you're deeply rooted in your truth, living life through a lens of your intuition and your higher self, you'll learn to find ways to walk a steady path through uncertainty. And as I already mentioned, most of those won't be logical. And that is exactly what the powers that be are not expecting and where you hold the power. The more of us that can attune to this frequency, the more hierarchical powers lose control and become the irrelevant party. Smaller communities become the new currency. So begin today with what feels simple. And just to reiterate once again, this is not all imminent, but it's getting into preparedness for what's coming in the forthcoming years. And we're going to see this happen sneakily and quietly, because when the hierarchical powers decide to change, they'll sneak it in through the diversions. So I'm urging you to be very aware of what's happening without being affected by it, but in observation of it, and concentrate on your world and where you can be benefit in your locality, because that is going to win at the end of the day. And yes, there are people suffering around the world. I'm not discounting that. Wherever you feel called to help, do that, but always, always begin with yourself. If you'd like more channeled updates or have a subject you'd like me to channel, comment below, and also comment with the one thing that you'll put in place this week, whether that be cash, canned food, a neighbor chat, or a skill that you're going to learn. Share this video with someone who needs to come back to their power, because this is only going to happen when we hold the line together. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.